Okay, welcome everybody. It's so lovely to have so many of you here on this first call. Most of you I know, and there are even some new faces, so you're all really welcome, and we're so happy to have you here. This is our first call of 2018, and we started with this new day and time, so we're going to be meeting every Tuesday at 5 p.m. UK time, 6 o'clock rest of Europe, more or less. So yeah, we are really hoping that we can just get more of you here on the calls to answer questions and just share more of this journey together so we can learn together and just continue to heal. So today the class is going to be about detoxing and cleansing with essential oils. So this is a great time for us to start this process. You know, New Year is also a really nice time to reflect and to begin to set new intentions, and just, you know, making some shifts, making some changes so that we can really step into the transformations that we want to see in our life with full commitment and being ready and prepared on many levels. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Bear with me. This is always the interesting part. Okay. Okay. Can someone just give me the thumbs up just to check that you can see this? Cleansing and detoxing with essential oils. Yeah, great. Awesome. Okay. So I'm basing this chat mainly around Zendocrine, which is our detox oil. Basically, it's our detox complex. And many of us are starting a cleanse on the 15th of this month, our community cleanse with the new moon on Monday, the 15th. And so we're going to be using this oil. So I wanted to give a bit of an explanation about what this does. But also for those of you who aren't joining us on the cleanse and who are just, you know, new to this group, this is just great information for you to begin exploring your oils and seeing what they can do for you and how they can support you in detoxing the body. So let me just, bear with me 1 second. Just need to reduce this. Okay. So Zendocrine comes in two forms. It comes as an oil on its own, and it also comes as soft gels. And the soft gel is basically, it just refers to the delivery method. It just refers to the fact that the oil is in capsules rather than just being loose in a bottle, rather than just being the liquid in a bottle. So you can take it in those two different ways. And what's nice about the soft gels is that you can obviously take them on the go. So you can have 2 or 3 a day to help the body reducing toxic load and to eliminate free radicals. And it's obviously easier to carry around and use than the oil. But the oil contains exactly the same ingredients, okay? So you've got those 5 oils there. You can see tangerine, juniper, berry, cilantro, geranium, and rosemary. And basically what this oil is doing, the chemistry is super powerful, and it has compounds that are designed to assist the liver and the kidneys in identifying free radicals and toxins in the body and allowing them to be excreted more sufficiently, okay? So what they do, the oils actually bind, the oils contained in this blend, they bind to the toxins and remove them, allow the liver and the kidneys, or help the kidney and the liver, the liver and the kidneys to remove them. And many of these oils, we'll see now as we study them, many of them are diuretics, which is also another way in which the body eliminates toxicity through urine, through passing urine. So this is another way in which we're getting rid of that uric acid and any kind of toxins that are hanging around in the body. So these are the 5 oils that we're going to study. And you can obviously use them individually, or you can use them as the Zendocrine detoxification blend. So the first one we're going to look at is tangerine. And this is actually quite a new oil. It's been available for a while in the complex, in the Zendocrine complex, but it's only just come out as a single oil in doTERRA. So this is something that you can buy. It's really affordable. I think it's maybe 12 euros or something. Really, really affordable. And as we can see here, it contains powerful antioxidants, and it's got depurative properties which help purify the blood by aiding in the excretion of toxic compounds such as uric acid, excessive salt, and pollutants. So when you apply it topically as a massage oil, it can also help fight against cellulite. So it actually dissolves the fat cells. So it's something that we can also accompany any kind of diet with. Because when we're dieting as well, when we're detoxing, the body is often the toxins are released. When we're dieting and detoxing, often toxins are released from the cells that have been stored up there. And so sometimes there can be actually a toxic overload. So it's good to use these oils and drink lots of water as well to make sure that they're actually being eliminated from the body. Tangerine, when you use it internally and topically, it can also help to speed up your metabolism. And additionally, tangerine oil helps with the circulation and balancing the digestive juices in the stomach. So all of these oils have tons of benefits and tons of different properties, but I'm kind of lasering in and on their detoxification benefits, okay? But tangerine has a range of properties and benefits on the emotional level as well, which you can study. Like all citruses, it's very uplifting for the emotions. And you can see here the other possible uses, that we can use it for constipation and diarrhea. So what's interesting about these oils is they balance us. So whether you are blocked up or whether there is too much flow, in the case of diarrhea, the oil will be able to identify where there's an imbalance, and it will be able to help the body bring back that balance into the systems. Tangerine can also help with the digestion of fat, can also help with flatulence, with liver problems, and also to decongest the lymphatic system and edema, okay? So these are just other possible uses of tangerine, and we'll continue to the next oil in our Zendocrine complex, which is juniper berry. So juniper berry plants are very high in flavonoids, and I never know how to pronounce this, polyphenol, I think it is, polyphenol or polyphenol antioxidants that have strong free radical scavenging abilities. So basically that means antioxidants are what we want to get rid of free radicals in the body. And we know that free radicals lead to various different types of diseases and inflammation. So juniper berry is great to use to combat free radicals in the body. They also boost the immune system, and this oil contains over 87 different active constituent compounds, including strong antioxidants, antibacterials, and antifungals. And again, here we see again that it's a natural diuretic. So again, it helps reduce bloating, it helps to flush out excess fluids from the bladder. So these are great oils to accompany any kind of detox or diet program. It's a detoxifier and cleanser, natural detoxifier and cleanser. It's also, we can also use it to eliminate kidney stones. And I know one of you has definitely had an experience with kidney stones, liver problems, and it promotes the excretion of uric acid and toxins, urinary infections, water retention, and obesity. I'm just going to get out of this full screen here because I want to make sure that I can see you guys if you have a question. Okay. So just continuing to the next oil in our quintet. So cilantro is an amazing oil. It's actually one that I haven't tried. And just to let you know about the difference, it is the same plant as the coriander plant, but we extract the oil from cilantro from the leaves of the plant, and we extract the coriander oil from the seeds. Okay, so that's the difference. They have some similar qualities, but there are also some differences. Just like you'll see with, for example, with our petitgrain and neroli, which are from the same plant, but extracted from different parts of the plant. And in that sense, they have different qualities. So cilantro is a natural cleanser and detoxifier for the body and has powerful properties that can aid with digestion when we use it internally. So all of these oils that I've mentioned, apart from... Actually, maybe Ed, can you just confirm whether you can use juniper berry internally? Do you know? I'm just going to unmute you. Ed,
you can. You can. I just put a couple of drops in water and take that when I'm feeling a bit sensitive.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So all of these oils you can use internally, of course, because they're in the Zendocrine complex. So again, 87, oh, hang on, here we are, cilantro. So what's also interesting about this oil is that it can help the body rid itself of heavy metals. So this is also really relevant to us right now. You know, there's a lot of hype around the heavy metals in our system at the moment, you know, because of fillings in our teeth, but also because of the metals that are now present in fish. And in all, you know, in a lot of different products. But for example, arsenic, cadmium, aluminium, lead, and mercury can become resident in our tissues, leading to heart disease, hormonal imbalances, different neurological conditions, infertility. And cilantro has the capacity to loosen these heavy metals from the body tissue and facilitate their elimination. So this could be a really interesting oil for people who are suffering from that toxic overload and who have, you know, been tested for these different heavy metals in the body. Does anyone have a question about cilantro or anything? Yeah. Do you want to just unmute yourself there?
I just have a question about cilantro, because there is a dentist. He tell people to use it when they take off the mercurium in the teeth. So that was really interesting that you say, because one asked me if it was cilantro or coriander, and now I'm very sure that it's cilantro.
Yeah. It's incredible, really. It's not one that I would use outside, or it's not one that I would think to use outside of cooking, but actually it has really, really powerful properties for cleansing the body from these metals.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, that's great that this dentist is on the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, I like it.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Barbara, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you know how you would use it to help loosen the heavy metals in the cells? Would you take it directly, or are you suggesting in the Zendocrine?
No, you can take it directly. You can take it as an oil as well. It comes as a single oil. Yeah. I mean, it's in the Zendocrine complex. And, you know, we know with doTERRA that the blends are really intelligently put together. And so I imagine that Zendocrine would be supportive on lots of different levels. And so it addresses the heavy metals and addresses other things as well. But if, you know, heavy metals is like a point of focus, then for sure you could even use the Zendocrine in capsules and top it up with a couple of drops of cilantro.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, let's continue. So geranium is such a beautiful oil, and it's not one that I would immediately think of to use internally, but it is in the Zendocrine complex, the detox blend, and this is why. So it promotes cell growth. It helps to recycle dead cells and supports the regeneration of new cells. So this is really good news. We know that geranium is amazing for skin. So it's amazing for kind of skincare and for scar tissue and for acne and for any kind of regeneration that has to happen on the level of the skin, but also internally supporting the regeneration of our tissue. Geranium, when we take it internally, it allows our metabolism to work more effectively. And again, it's a diuretic. So on the level of cleansing, on the level of purification, it's going to help us, go to the bathroom. And as it says here, through urination, you release toxic chemicals, heavy metals, sugar, sodium, and pollutants. And urination also removes excess bile and acids from the stomach. So geranium is considered to be a powerful liver tonic because it aids the liver by expanding the liver's bile ducts, which help with detox. So basically that means that it helps open up the bile ducts, which resist any kind of, or help us to flush out any kind of toxins and fats and things. And other uses, so we can use geranium for kidney stones as well. It helps to balance the pancreas. It's good for acne, diarrhea, ringworm, and gastric ulcers. And we can use it internally, topically, and aromatically, obviously. And aromatically, it has amazing benefits as well. But today, because we're concentrating on detoxification, I'm not going to go into all of that right now. And then finally, in our quintet of oils, we've got rosemary. So rosemary is, it's really well known, and it's it's a plant that many of us who live in Europe, many of us have grown up with this. We've used it in our cooking. We'll recognize it from hair care products and shampoos and conditioners and soaps and things. But it's also amazing used internally. So it's been used to help with gastrointestinal complaints, and it's a really amazing detoxifier. Also, it enhances your body's bile flow. So this is essential for fat metabolism and detoxification. And this, in turn, boosts our absorption, how we absorb the nutrients, and it helps to prevent toxic overload. Okay, so you can take this internally. Kate, did you have a question? No? You're just like saying hello. So you can use this internally, and obviously again it comes in the Zendocrine complex. Its other uses are it's an antioxidant, and it reduces chemical stress, helps to reduce chemical stress, constipation. It's a detoxifier, diuretic. It aids in kidney infections, or helps us remove kidney infections, headaches, inflammation, and viral hepatitis, which is obviously linked with the liver. So really amazing oils. They're all, I'll just go back to this slide here for those of you that weren't here at the beginning. All of these 5 oils are in the Zendocrine complex, but obviously you can also buy them separately. They're all available individually from doTERRA. Many of them, are native to Europe, or not far from Europe. And so these are plants that, we will have grown up with, or, spent some time with these plants, in our kind of growth, our human growth. So obviously, I'm not gonna, we can never pretend that these oils are like the magic pill to everything. And so if you are doing a diet, or if you are wanting to remove some toxins from your body, there are lots of other ways in which we can help ourselves to go through that process and help the oils do the best that they can. And so obviously top of the list is drink lots of water. So if you are using these oils regularly to detox and purify, you want to be drinking lots and lots of water to help that process. And another key thing is drinking high fiber veggie juices. So many of us, we like to juice, we like to make juices, but we tend to maybe stick to the more sweet tasting fruit juices and, blending up lots of lovely fruits. But I really encourage you, in those fruit juices to stick a beetroot in there, or lots of greens, like lots of spinach leaves, or even some sweet potatoes, because that will really, really help this detox, the detoxification. Otherwise, if it's just fruits, it's a lot of sugar. It's actually a lot of sugar in the body, so you don't want to be obviously having excess sugar. And then another thing, which is, you know, for those of us that have been working with oils for a long time, you know, we understand the power of our thoughts as well, and how we've been using the oils to support our mental and emotional well-being. And so it's really important to be considering and analyzing your internal state, and whether the mind is actually creating toxicity, whether your thoughts are creating toxicity in your well-being. The liver, in particular, in terms of Chinese medicine and you know, Eastern philosophy, it's related to a lack of, you know, any problems with the liver are related to a lack of forgiveness on the emotional level. It's also the seat of anger. If there's a lot of complaining, if we complain a lot, if there's a sort of sensation of feeling bad and finding fault in ourselves and in others, these are really interesting tendencies to watch and to you know, just take care, because everything is connected. We know that. And we know that our thoughts and our emotions have a profound effect upon our well-being. So I really encourage you to meditate and really spend time not just eliminating toxins on a physical level, but eliminating those toxic thoughts. And there are many different ways in which we can do that. Obviously, many of us will have different practices, and, you know, depending on your faith and your spiritual beliefs, you'll be able to use those tools as well. But there's also a wonderful book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And she has some wonderful affirmations in there that can really help in just training the mind, retraining the mind, so that we stop feeding those negative thoughts and we start training our mind towards positivity, towards you know, openness and forgiveness and compassion. So I really recommend that. And these are some other resources that you can use to inform yourself. So Dr. Axe is a wonderful, I mean, he's almost like a kind of health superstar. He has tons and tons of free videos on alternative and holistic healthcare. He is completely in love with essential oils and speaks a lot about the essential oils, how we can use them, also about doTERRA's essential oils, but just in general, you know, he's a really good person to follow. I really recommend Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, because she also talks about specific organs and problems that we may have, physical issues that we may have, and their emotional association. Dr. McCullough as well is also another resource online that you can, you know, find a lot of information about alternative kind of practices, how to use herbs, the different medicinal properties of different plants. So he's great. And then obviously doTERRA as well have tons and tons of information. So yeah, these are the resources that I've used to create this presentation. I've just pulled from different sources. And so, yeah, I really recommend that if you want to continue informing yourself about this, or if you're thinking of doing a detox soon, that you have a look at these professionals, healthcare professionals. So that is, yeah, go on, Barbara, go for it. I'm just going to unmute.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Just a question. Would you know of any oils that would be good to put directly on the liver as a massage that would help with a detox?
Yeah, Zendocrine.
Zendocrine.
Yeah.
Or are there any others that are sort of related? So you're taking Zendocrine internally, but whether there's something else that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, any of those, if you want, like lemon is another really good one, just in general for detoxing. I mean, the thing is with the oils is that they all have so many different benefits and properties that you don't need to complicate it too much. You know, you can just choose one or two, or just the Zendocrine complex, and use that. Because really they do so many different things, and the great thing about it is that these oils are intelligent enough to go into your body and do exactly what your body needs it to do, go into my body and do exactly what it needs my body. Like, they just are able to identify, you know, where the need is. So I would just go, you know, doTERRA are like absolute experts in blends and blending, and I would just, you know, go like full you know, go ahead with the Zendocrine. And if you want to add another one to that, lemon is great. Does anyone else have a suggestion for Barbara? Yeah, go for it. I'm just going to unmute you, Silver Lining.
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Liz.
Sorry.
Hi. I'm joining you from Austria. I'm just wanting to say, if you are doing a fast or a detox, you could do a liver poultice. I don't know if you're familiar with those, where you take a cold towel with rinsed in cold water and you pop it on your liver, and then put a towel around it, and then a hot water bottle, and rest for about half an hour with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's like a compress, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a poultice type thing, and it really gets your liver going, and it's something that you can do every day when you're doing your clear out.
So can I just check with you, because I've always heard, or I've always done it with a warm towel, but I suppose with like a wet.
You start with the cold wet, with then a dry towel, and then the hot water bottle, because then you have activated with the cold, and then you're bringing in the warm, which means it has to work even harder.
Okay.
You started cold.
Okay. That's great. And so then I suppose when you are doing that, you need to be reclining. No, you
should be resting.
Yeah.
It's something that you may do if you're doing a fast or something. It would be maybe something you do around lunchtime or after your lunch juice or whatever you're having. It's a good idea.
Great. That's great. Thank you so much for that tip.
Pleasure. If I can come back to removing the amalgam out of your teeth, I actually did this a few years ago. And sometimes when you're detoxing, you have to be careful that your body is able to get rid of the toxins quickly enough. It's struggling, and I would get dreadful headaches, and I had to slow down taking stuff, because you get something called the Herxheimer syndrome, where the body just can't cope with all these toxins, and you have to take it a bit slower. So you just need to observe yourself.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point, especially if there is a lot of toxic overload.
Yeah.
Then headaches are very common. And it's a good sign for us when we get a headache.
And I would sort of end up like feeling I've got the flu and a headache. So you'd have to take a step back.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got rid of them all.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Just on that point, rosemary, we can actually use rosemary for headaches as well. So if that is coming up in your detox, it's something you can use to combat any headaches. Thank you. That's really great.
Pleasure.
Great. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Me. Hi. A couple of things. How much of the Zendocrine should people take?
So,
and how frequently?
With the soft gels, they recommend 2 or 3 a day. When I was using them, I like to just take 2, one in the morning, and then actually I would take one just before bed, because obviously when we're resting, our body is, in the resting state, in sleep, our body does a lot of regeneration and repair. And so I liked to support my system by taking one just before bed. Sometimes it does make you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, though. But yeah, 2 to 3 is the recommended amount.
And if you're taking the oil, how much?
In capsules.
You're just dropping the oil?
Yeah.
No, not capsules. Just if you're just you're putting it in yourself. You wouldn't just put the oil in water.
Yeah, you can put the oil in water. Again, you could take like a drop 3 times a day, because in the soft gels, it's mixed. It's it's diluted with like a vegetable oil.
Right,
So you
okay.
could take, I mean, sometimes a couple of drops falls out, but you could start with that and then increase or decrease as you see your body reacting, I would say.
Yeah.
It depends on each person and their condition, really. Nadia, did you want to say something? Yeah, I'm just going to unmute you. 1 sec. Yeah.
Okay, I do it many times, but I do like 10 days, like 2 or 3 drops, and then I stop, and maybe after 2 months I do it again.
Okay.
So I don't know, I heard somewhere that 10 days is enough, and then you stop.
Then you can start again. Yeah. Really what we're doing, the body is the body has an innate capacity to detox. That's what it does. That's what all our body is constantly trying to do. So what we're trying to do is just support those natural processes that the body can innately do. We're not trying for the oils to supplement those actions that the body can already do. We're just supporting those systems. So I think it's a good point, with the Zendocrine, to have periods of time where you're using the oil and periods of time when you're not using the oil, because you want your body to be able to do it on its own eventually. I think it just depends, if you feel like you've been exposed, if you've had a period of time where you haven't been able to eat properly or eat what you'd like to eat, or if you can feel that there's a toxic overload in terms of you've been exposed to chemicals or whatever, then you can support your body using these oils. Yeah. Kate, go ahead.
Oh God! So one other thing that I've been doing, that Dr. Axe is a massive advocate of, and it's huge in the States right now, is intermittent fasting. And it's an amazing way to cleanse the body and really to find the connection to how much, for me, I emotionally eat, and how much I kind of feel with that. And it's like I'm loving it. There are some days when I struggle with it, but it's worth just investigating. It's not right for everybody. It's not right for every woman in particular. So just like do your research. But if you go on YouTube and have a look at what Dr. Axe says about intermittent fasting, the science is pretty unbelievable. And I do 16/8. So 16/8 is the easiest way to fast, I think. But you can build up to that. You can start on like 14. So what I mean by that is that I fast for 16 hours and I eat for between 7 and 8 hours. So it's the easiest way that I've found to fast. But it's just worth investigating and just looking into it, because the results are pretty phenomenal in terms of healing the body.
So you would eat your 3 daily meals within 8 hours, and then you would...
Generally you don't eat 3 meals because your stomach shrinks. So it's basically you scrap breakfast, which is against all of the science that we've ever been taught, because we've always been taught to eat little and often, and it goes completely against that. It's about giving your intestines and your whole body time to completely heal. So my eating window is 8 hours. So I'll stop eating at, say, 6 o'clock, and then I can eat again the next morning at, say, 11, that sort of time. But if you eat later, like in Spain, obviously you would be eating much later at night, and then you couldn't eat until like 2 or whatever the next day, which I don't do. But it's worth just investigating and just having a look for yourself at kind of the results of it, because they're pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, again, there are lots of different types of fasting and diets and ways in which we can find balance. That's essentially what we're looking for, isn't it? Really, is just to find something sustainable and to find something that supports all our body systems to finding balance, so that we can feel healthy and energized and vital. So yeah, great tips. And maybe Kate, you can share a little bit more about that in our Facebook group once you've been doing it for a bit longer, perhaps, if you'd be up for that. So that is the end of our education call for today. So I just want to say thank you all for your contributions. It's been so lovely to see you all here, the first call of 2018. I'm going to stop the recording now, and then we'll go on for the people that want to stay for the business part of the call. Then we'll start a new recording then, okay? So saying goodbye to those people who are leaving us now.